Hello and welcome to a gameplay for all seasons and this Hogwarts Legacy video. Now it's true to say we know an awful lot more about Hogwarts Legacy than we did not a very short while ago. Obviously the 14-minute gameplay trailer really did help answer quite a lot of questions that are out there. However, despite the fact lots of questions have been answered, in my opinion, I still have more questions than I feel I have answers. And on this video, I want to talk about the 5 biggest concerns I currently have about the game. And they are the 5 things that I really hope we get a bit more clarity around very soon. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're excited about Hogwarts Legacy and want to stay up to date, and also join the conversation. As I say, these are the 5 things that I'm most concerned about. However, as I mentioned, there are loads and loads of questions out there. So in the comments, do let me know what the thing you're currently most concerned about the game. So, item number 1 then. Now I've mentioned before we had loads of videos when we were talking about classes and what I hoped from the classes. And to me, classes are really, really important because I want to get that immersive feeling that you really do go to Hogwarts. And I think a big part of that is that you really do have to go to the classes. A bit like Bully, where you had to go to classes, and if you didn't, you were effectively truant and they tried to hunt you down. Obviously, that was many years ago. Now is a much more basic mechanic, and you'd like to think Hogwarts Legacy would be much more advanced than that. But I still want that feeling that you're at school, you are supposed to go to those lessons. And my concern with what I've seen so far from the 14-minute trailer is that I slightly suspect that the classes are actually optional. That's because in the 14-minute trailer, it strongly suggested that you start off the game having to go to lessons to make sure that you catch up. However, after that, it sort of suggests, in my opinion, that if you keep going to the lessons, that you're going to get more advanced, and it's a good idea to keep doing it, but actually you don't have to. Slightly concerns me that you have to turn up maybe just 3 times, and there you go, you know everything you need to know from that class. I hope it's not like that. I hope it really does give you that much more immersive feel, but I don't feel we've got enough information. We only have that little piece, and I am concerned that it's going to be completely optional and almost a bit worthless after you've reached a certain point. So the second item that I want to discuss then, and again it's something that we've discussed really a lot on this channel, it's around what I've been calling the good-evil spectrum, and it's a big piece of, to me, what I think is forging your own path, which is obviously what they've been telling us we can do. And I think a big part of that is that you have free choice over your actions, and actually that your actions mean something. Now my concern around this is we know that you can approach the game in whatever style you want, you can mix and match different combos. However, it sounds like there is only one dark path. And if there is only one dark path, that doesn't make it sound like we're going to have that much free choice. And it slightly concerns me, again, something I've mentioned, Knights of the Old Republic. That's a fantastic game, but it was very digital. You're either good or bad. It makes it feel like maybe there's a couple of different goods you could do, or you're bad. And in a way, I hope it's a bit more nuanced than that. Again, it's something I want to have more information about. My third concern, as with all the others, is something I've spoken about a lot on this channel. I really want it to make a difference which house you pick. And my concern at the moment is, bar purely cosmetic touches, it's really going to matter. Yes, you'll have a different common room, but it even looks like when you look at the companions, my concern is that they're not going to react to you in different ways depending what house you are in. So for example, we know the way Hogwarts works is quite often you share a class with a different house. So maybe the Slytherins will be with the Gryffindors for potions, for example. I kind of hope that's static. So if you're in Ravenclaw, for example, maybe you come across Sebastian Sallow in potions, but maybe you come across him in charms if you're a Hufflepuff, something like that, and just so it at least creates something different, and also that they react to you in different ways. So if you are in Slytherin, is Sebastian going to react differently to you? Or is it going to kind of all feel like it doesn't really matter where you are, and it's only when you're actually in your common room that things are slightly different? Maybe a few things happen in the common room, but is it going to be enough where it's going to really feel like it matters? You know, are we actually going to have independent, separate missions, depending on what house you're in? At least something that makes it feel different. Because as I say, otherwise it's just cosmetic. And almost that choice of where we go, that we know is such a huge part of the Wizarding world. You know, so many quizzes out there. You know, people really do consider themselves to be in a certain house. I hope that has a lot of meaning. So again, that's something I want to find out about. Now that leads absolutely nicely to the sorting ceremony. Feels like you're going to pick your house, they're going to get a sorting hat, put it on your head, and then it's going to say whatever house you chose. Which I could be wrong, maybe that's not the way it's going to go. It's just, they mention about picking a house, which doesn't very much sound like you can be doing a quiz or anything. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you don't think it matters. Maybe we can just go off and do a quiz on Pottermore or whatever website we want to go to actually pick a house and go with that. Or maybe people literally just want to pick their house. They don't want to be sorted. I'm kind of intending on playing it 4 times in the 4 different houses. The fact of getting sorted into one, maybe in my particular circumstance, doesn't matter. But I just would have quite liked to find out what house it would have put me in. I mean, every time I ever do a quiz, it always puts me in Ravenclaw. Probably not the house I'm going to start with because I played other games as Ravenclaw, but we'll see. Maybe there'll be something in Sortimer. And the 5th thing then that I am most concerned about is general replayability. And it's almost what a lot of those points, or at least the last 3, go into, which is 1, does it matter whether you're good, you're evil, or something else? Do you get a different ending or a substantially different ending that feels different? Does it matter which house you're in? Is it worth me playing as a Ravenclaw or a Hufflepuff, or am I going to get the same experience but a different common room? And those things go on to something else, which is, are we going to have decisions that are going to affect our relationships substantially? Is it the case that Poppy could be our best friend in one playthrough, but actually someone who we don't get on with in another playthrough? And does that make a difference depending on what choices we have? Maybe we're asking a lot for the game. You know, at this stage when we don't know everything, it is nice to dream. And sometimes the developers are listening to us and put these things in. So I really hope there is some worth to replaying this game, because I am intending on playing it more than once, as I know quite a lot of you are as well. And it is worth saying at this point in the video, though this is about the concerns I have for the game, there is so much positive in the game as well. So these are just my concerns. We will be making other videos about what looks fantastic in this game, because there is a lot. So if you want to look out for those, make sure you subscribe and we can talk about those in those videos. I hope this has given you food for thought. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, or have your own things you're concerned about. Like it if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.